Okay, welcome. This is a screencast on how to create your own digital mandala. Um, I hope that it's simple enough for you guys to follow. And if you don't understand something, just pause the video and rewind it a little bit and maybe listen to the instruction again if you are unsure what to do. Okay, the first thing I've done is I've opened up the template 8.psd, and that's in the student folder. So if you go to resources, art, mandala, and open images folder, inside there and inside the templates folder, is the template 8.psd. What I've also done is opened up an image as well, and I've chosen the cityscape image. Just because I think it has some interesting shapes and interesting lines as well, which I think will create quite an interesting looking mandala. For the first bit of instructions, we're going to actually place part of this image into this red section of the mandala. And you can see here this is like a quarter of a mandala. So what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be taking part of this cityscape and putting it into the mandala just here, into 1/8 of the mandala. Then we'll be copying that and placing that onto the black section, and then reproducing that once, and then reproducing all of that again to create our full circle mandala. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to select the image. So I'm choosing the cityscape image. I'm going to actually go to Edit, Select All. So Command A is what it is on the Mac, and I think it's something like Control A or something on a PC. So it's Select All, and so I've selected all of that, and then what I do then is I edit and copy. So edit and copy, so that's copying everything that's there. What I do then is I click on the template, so you just have to make sure you click on the template window so that that's active, and I use the tool to select a color, which is the selection tool, and it's a quick selection tool, and I select the red section. So there, it's selected all of the red section just there. You can either select the red or the black, but I've chosen to select the red. What I do then is I'm going to edit and paste into, so I'm actually going to place the image into the red selection. So it's paste into, and we're placing the actual image into the selected section. You will notice across here, if you're in layers, so you might decide to change your palettes across the bottom just here, and if you're in layers, you can see here there's now 2 layers. So there's a bottom layer, which is what the layer is that we started with. There's now a layer above that, which is the image of the cityscape, and then above that there's a mask layer. And what a mask layer does, it actually blacks out a lot of the section, except for the white section, which we can see. So, and that's the white section we can see just here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to reshape that to move it around so I'm happy with what the image looks like inside. So I'm going to go Image and Free Transform, and what happens now is that you have these boxes that allow you to move the image inside the pie piece of the mandala. You can see here if I move it around, I can actually change the way it looks, and I can move these side bits, and I can rotate it as well in the corners if you see that. And I'm going to move it around until I have something that I think will look okay, and I think that'll look okay. What you can also do is, if you'd like to keep the sides all the same, so if you'd like to keep it in at the same width and height when you're moving it, is to hold the Shift key while you're moving it, and that will actually keep the proportion of the image the same. So you can see that. So I'm going to hit the Enter key or the Return key, and that will confirm my choice and leave it in the pie piece like that. And what we're going to do now is we're going to actually copy this section of the mandala, so this pie section just here, and I'm going to paste it across into the black section. So we're going to start to sort of see a repeated pattern and create a quarter of our mandala. We're going to make sure that we've selected the top layer, so layer 1, and we're going to select all of that again. So this is the same as what we did last time when we selected the cityscape. So we're selecting all of that. We're going to copy that, so we're going to edit and we're going to copy that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select the bottom layer. So the bottom layer is the black section, where we'd like to paste the selection that we had before. Now we just need to deselect all of that now, because we're actually going to select just that black section. So if we click on the selection wand again, which is called the quick selection tool, we can select in this black section, and it's just selected the black section there, and we can go edit and then paste into. So you need to make sure you select on the paste into section, and that will then paste that image into the black section as well. Now to get our pattern happening, what we need to do is we need to actually edit and transform it. So we're going to transform it, and we're going to flip it horizontally. And when we flip it horizontally, you'll see that we've actually flipped the image, and we're starting to see a pattern happen. And if we want a consistent pattern, if you'd like to have all of the shapes the same, what I'd suggest is that when you click on that that layer, we're going to actually turn it so that we can turn it by minus 90 degrees anti-clockwise, or just minus 90 degrees. So we're going to transform it again. We're going to free transform it. You can either tip it manually by just grabbing the corner like we did last time and turning it, or if you'd like it to be pretty spot on, I'm going to type in minus 90 degrees, and that's going to actually turn it so that it turns the same, so it's almost the opposite of what we've already got. And what I can do now is I can just refine that a little bit. You can see I can kind of just line it up a little bit like that and create something that I think looks okay. Now you must double click inside that, or you can hit on the enter or the return key, and that will confirm that. So what we've got now is we actually have two layers, and we have our bottom layer. We're going to actually squash these two layers together, and that's called flattening two layers. But before we flatten the two layers, we want to turn the bottom layer off, because we want to actually keep that layer, and we want to actually squash these other two layers together. So once I've turned the bottom layer off, I'm going to now edit, and I'm now going to layer, and I'm going to merge visible. And what we've got now is we've actually got these two layers just as one layer now, so we've squashed them both together. Now this is kind of getting to the easier part now. We're going to reproduce these layers. So we're going to copy these layers, and the reason we copy the layers is because we have already produced what we need to here. We just need to copy this once and then twice again once it's a half. So to copy the layer, we click on the layer and we drag it right down to the bottom of the screen to the copy layer section just there. And now you see there's two layers. So there's a layer 2 that we've been working on, and now a layer 2 copy that we've just produced. We're going to flip this over. So we're going to go to edit and then transform. We're actually going to flip it horizontally this time as well, to flip it across to the other side. See that? So now what we've done is we've created two pieces. We're going to actually move this piece here over to the right so that it matches up with the other one. This is our move tool at the top. So our move tool is the very top. We just click on the piece and we move it across until it clicks together. So you can see it clicks together, and it's starting to make that nice pattern now that we can see. We're going to repeat what we did before. We're going to actually squash these two layers again together. The bottom layer is turned off. We're going to actually grab this, and we're going to squash them all down to merge the visible layers, so that we've only got one layer now. We need to copy that layer again, so we need to actually grab that layer, grab it down and take it down to the copy layer section, and we've now got two layers. This time we're going to transform it again, so we're going to go to edit, and we're going to go to free transform, we're going to go to transform and then flip vertically. And the reason we're flipping vertically is that we're flipping it down this time, so if you're on this vertical axis. What we want to do now is move that layer. We want to move it down until it's lined up to create our full mandala. And you can see that was pretty easy. I just grabbed it and they actually lock together, so they sort of start to create a mandala that looks quite interesting. Our two layers again there. We've got our bottom layer turned off. What we can do now is we can actually squash our layers together, so we'll flatten them, merge our visible layers, and then we have our complete mandala. To complete the mandala and give it a nice white background, we can actually squash these layers down even more, so we can flatten them out. We're going to actually flatten the image, discard that hidden layers, and what happens then is you've actually got a mandala now that is a full circle, and from this you can either leave it as it is, or you can start to use filters, which I'll show you that again in another screencast. Okay, thank you.